Namaste, dear brothers and sisters. Welcome to today's evening session. We are on day 69 in our BHED program. A gentle reminder to share your masterclasses and invitation to join Being Heartful Everyday program with your friends and family if you have not done for your day today. So, with that, let's move ahead with our inspirational reading, which is User Guide The Art of Removing and Creating Habits. The part one of this we finished yesterday, and we are going to continue reading part two for this user guide, and specifically the area, the lower space where the topic that Daji is covering is about heartfulness practices create the habits of peace and compassion. So this text is available for you on the Heartfulness app as well, the part two of this section. So let's move ahead with this reading for our day. In practical terms, it is heartfulness cleaning that purifies consciousness. Without purification, we don't remove the complexities that are the root cause of the subconscious programs. And it is very difficult to change our patterns of habitual response. This doesn't mean that we no longer need the fight or flight response. That response is there for our survival. For example, if a fire is threatening your home, you need to act to save your family. What changes is that a purified meditative mind will respond only when it is truly needed, and it will also respond in a more refined way rather than reactively. It is through heartfulness meditation that we learn to pause so that the soul can witness and respond through the heart's wisdom in any situation. And through prayer, we develop the habit of resting in the soul's realm, and the heart becomes vacuumized so that the flow of the current of divinity can fill our being. A simple analogy is the flow of current from positive to negative in telegraphy. We may still be aware of fear, anger, or anxiety as they are useful emotions. They alert us to the need to respond or change. But how we respond, how we use those emotions for positive change, for the betterment of all, is life transforming. We are able to master them so that they take us forward rather than keeping us locked into patterns of emotional turbulence, conflict, and violence. By violence, I don't just mean physical violence. It can be emotional violence, passive aggressive behavior, and resentment in the case of a person who feels victimized. Violence can also be expressed through withdrawal. Anything that hurts another being can be included in this umbrella of violence. A degree of mastery over these emotions comes from regular meditative practices, which refine the mind so that it responds from a progressively higher and higher plane of awareness. The mind works best when it is guided by the wisdom of a pure heart. In fact, even the regions of the brain that are activated are different. One of the main catalysts to bring about this mastery over our reactiveness is yogic transmission. Why is it so? For this, we need to first remind ourselves of our human anatomy, the three bodies. We have a physical body made of matter. We also have a subtle body known as the astral or mental body, which is made of energy, vibration, thinking, and feeling. It is what we also known as the field of consciousness of the heart and mind. Our third body, the causal body, or the cause of our existence, is the soul. The soul is associated with the absolute state of nothingness, the substratum of existence. It is pure, unchanging, and immutable. When we identify mostly with the physical body, then it is easy to be surrounded by threats in day to day life because our physical being is constantly being bombarded and may not be in a state of full health and well being. By the way, the part of the mind that creates this sense of identity is the ego, ahankar in yoga. When we identify mostly with the subtle body, our thoughts, feelings, emotions, intellect, knowledge, and ego, we will also be susceptible to threats in day to day life because our minds and hearts are also constantly being bombarded, even more than our physical bodies. Think of the emotional upheaval created by an argument with your partner, your teenage child, or a work colleague, and you will understand how destabilizing this can be to the peace of mind of all the individuals involved. This is also why we have a stress epidemic in the 21st century, which is clinically affecting the mental health of more than 10% of world's population, according to the World Economic Forum. Now, let's compare this with what happens when we identify with the soul, which we can do when we have a spiritual goal and when we acknowledge that we are souls having a human experience in the world. Then something very different happens. The soul is the still, peaceful center of our being, like the eye of a tornado. Swami Vivekananda spoke so beautifully about this shift of attention in his lecture called Nature and Man, which you can find in his complete works, Volume 6. He says, the whole process of evolution is a soul's struggle to manifest itself. It is a constant struggle against nature. I would say it a little differently, as in today's yoga, we have a way to reduce the struggle thanks to transmission. When we very gently turn our attention toward the soul by meditating on the heart and through prayer, it is naturally pulled inward, and the prayerful, receptive inner state is created in the heart. Transmission allows us to rest in the center so that so that outer turbulence does not destabilize our inner condition. We are firmly grounded in that stillness where we find peace, joy, love, and contentment. There's no longer a need to look for those qualities outside. Instead, we tap into them at the center of our being. Then we share them with others. We become givers rather than takers, radiating peace, joy, love, and contentment into the world, bringing solace and peace to others. We carry the fragrance of divinity with us wherever we go. So, with this, we will pause this reading. If you like to continue this article, you can find it on Heartfulness app under the BHED section. At this point, I'll request that all of us get prepared for our universal prayer. You can gently close your eyes Take a deep breath in and get connected to your inner self, bringing your attention inward, arising the state of gratitude and love. While we meditate on the subtle suggestion that all brothers and sisters are being filled with love and devotion, and real faith is growing stronger in them. अब अगले कुछ क्षणों के लिए हम अपना ध्यान इस बात पर केंद्रित करेंगे कि सभी भाई बहन प्रेम और भक्ति से भर रहे हैं और उनमें सच्ची श्रद्धा दृढ़ होती जा रही है। If you feel you are ready to come out of your prayer, you can gently open your eyes. Dear sisters and brothers, as we prepare ourselves for upcoming Bhandara in memory of our beloved Chariji Maharaj, there won't be any live sessions for the next week, but you can refer to the activities for the next week in Heartfulness app. Thank you for joining today, and a gentle reminder for your bedtime prayer and reflection for the day. See you on 28th July at 8:50 p.m. Have a good night.